Hey guys, I want to show you in this video how I turn this scene here in Godot into what you are about to see. A while ago, I made a video on why I make video games using this game here as an example. However, what I didn't go over too well was the details of how I'm able to turn Godot into its own custom scripting language, compiler, and parser for these kinds of games. Do not consider this a tutorial. I just want to show you how I do things, and if you wish to do the same thing for your own, or for Unity, or for Unreal, or anything else, go ahead. The core of the entire game can be seen in this one text file here. This text file is the demo I use for testing purposes, and it shows everything you need for this compiler and parser. So this is what I will be going over. First, you have denotations with periods. This basically says, okay, where in the script am I? So dot is 0, dot dot is 1, dot 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 is 2, and so on and so on. Where each line after dots indicates its own line to be put into the script. So this would be the first thing that shows up, where welcome to a wonderful demo full of wonderful things, and then you get choices. These choices are in somewhat of an array form, so this one would just be okay, this one would just be to continue, this one would be to go left or right. Where it gets complicated, or not really complicated, but where it gets more intricate, is as you start continuing to this one here, where you have two options, left or right. If you pick left, it goes down this path, dot 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 1, and dot 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 2. Dot 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 1 indicates that at this intersection here, you chose the first option, and here you chose the second one, and then it basically branches down its own individual paths. Then you have other things in here. If you go through the first path, it's basically like, okay, you want to continue this stupid demo. So you lose 5 points of general reputation, you lose -10 sanity, and this here, the okay dot dot dot, this parentheses here, dot 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 2 dot, will take you to dot 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 2 dot. So whether by going the right route or by going the left, wrong route, you ended up at the end of this little demo. One more thing I added is I started to go into audio stuff, where if I put -a at the end of a line, it will actually play an audio. So I believe that this actually plays cat noises when you get to this specific part of the demo. And then eventually you get here where JMP dash, and I think I got a little bit of influence from assembly language, takes you to 0 dash beach dash dot. So it takes you to 0, the introduction, to the beach, and then to the first dot. This is what a linear storytelling looks like. So this is the demo you saw initially, where it basically just goes linearly dot 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 dot, but it actually tells somewhat of a story. As you can see, at the end, you go to the next one, which is supposed to be dot dash foyer, or foyer, and then dot. So I believe I was supposed to have a file called foyer here, .txt, and I was supposed to go there, as well as this has an audio at some point. No. This, the way I did it was -a C starts an audio clip that's supposed to continue over many lines, and then over here it ends it. Whereas that audio clip would just be the rain in the background. The goal of this entire thing was to create it in a way where I never needed at any point to really touch Godot or GD script. Nothing at any point ever needed to be hard-coded because the parser I created, which can be seen here, had the code necessary, at least for the functions I provided, to run it so that I never needed to do more than this code. Everything would be handled in text files, which would make it so that if I said, okay, these are the conventions for how you write the game, and I gave it to a writer, they could write the entire game without ever having to write a single line of code, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to split this game into two paths. I could one day wake up and say, I want to do some code for the game. I want to do a little bit of making things look fancier. Whereas on the other hand, I could go down the different route, which said, I am only going to do writing today. I'm not going to write a single line of code. It's all going to be writing. The reason I never continued with this game is that the two sides were very unbalanced. The artistic and actual coding side of the game was fairly small. It's only 350, 400 lines of code, whereas the writing would be something that would need to be continued and continued and continued. If I'm ever to make a text-based game in the future, this is the path I will be taking, unlike the first one I ever took. After the first video I ever made with text-based RPGs, I worked for a small time at an indie game studio on an open source project. And for that, I said, you know what, I'm going to make a text parser that relies entirely on text files. That was the start of this system. Eventually, I decided to adapt it for my own purposes, and here we have what it is. And for some reason, I just got a spam call when I'm about to end this video. That is it for this video. It's more so a little showcase and saying this is my thought process and how I went about doing this. And leave in the comments if you have a different idea of how you would make this kind of game. Maybe you would hard code it. And it would mean a lot to me if you liked this video, that if you watched the previous two in this little mini series, and that if you also subscribed and liked this video. If you enjoyed, I shall see you all in the next one. Peace! Damn it, I can never remember where the heck the finish video button is.